Welcome to Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health. I'm Bob McElligott, and I'm joined by Blue Jackets Assistant General Manager Bill Zito, and we're going to talk about the Lake Erie Monsters because, Billy, part of your job, and a big part of your job, is to manage the roster of the Lake Erie Monsters, and that this year, I would imagine, was quite a feat in and of itself because of all of the injuries and the players that had to be called up here. How do you approach that day-to-day, making sure that you have enough players in the American Hockey League and then trying to make sure you have the right players in the American Hockey League?
Well, you're correct. We had to rebuild, for example, our defense. We rebuilt from really just one returning defenseman in Jamie Cyphers. So it was a little bit of a process, and kudos to our scouts and kudos to the coaches to allow us to sort of have a plan. We have to develop the young players, but we still need to win. They have to go in tandem, and it was difficult. It was very difficult, and the majority of the credit goes to the coaches.
When you talk about building a hockey team, they always say, well, start and goal with a good goalie, come out to the blue line, and then go to the forwards. You just talked about how you had to revamp the whole defense, but you had to start even further back than that because there were times everybody was here. I mean, everybody was here at the same time. Korpisalo was here with Forsberg, so how did you do that?
Well, we were fortunate enough to sign a guy named Brad Thiessen, who is a veteran, an American League veteran. I went to the finals with Wilkes-Barre a few years ago. First-class human being, first-class goalie. And when called upon to come up, all he did was come up and be goalie of the month in February in the entire AHL. And of course, Korpisalo and Forsberg did their thing as well.
Yeah, and going into the season, did you really know what you had in those two guys, two young goalies playing in the American Hockey League, and then all of a sudden, one's in the NHL, one's in the AHL, you're mixing and matching the whole time. What was that challenge like just for those two guys and getting them the experience you want?
The camaraderie, the professionalism, and I believe the genuine friendship between and among the goalies really, really helped the team as a whole. And if you talk to them now, they're still best buddies. If you go to Cleveland today, I promise you Korpisalo's having lunch with Forsberg, for sure. And it's great. It's a testament to the character of both those guys.
We saw a lot of guys here from the Lake Erie Monsters this year, especially near the end. Sonny Milano comes up and plays, gets his first NHL point. Oliver Bjorkstrand picks up a couple of NHL goals. Dean Kukan comes up here and really shows that he can play at this level. Josh Anderson up a couple of times. Kirby Reichel has been up. What has the overall experience been for those young players to get just a taste, at the very least, this year in the NHL?
It's wonderful for their confidence. It's wonderful as an information processing experience for them to understand just how hard it is, just how hard they have to work, just how accountable they have to be. And it really showed itself, certainly in the first round against Rockford, where guys were managing the game properly, making the right decisions. And I think it's due in no short part to the time they spent here.
Those young guys you're very excited about, but in the American Hockey League, if you're going to win, you have to have veteran players that have been there before, that help the young guys along, hold them accountable, almost a coach on the ice. And your captain, Ryan Craig, is that guy, isn't he?
You talk to any of the players, Ryan Craig's the best captain I ever had. From my perspective, he's made my job so easy because he holds the kids accountable. But it's not a holding them accountable as a boss or as a coach. It's as a leader and as a teammate. And he leads by example. And he communicates very, very well with the young guys. He's a special, special player. And I wish I had more of him. We have an abundance of leadership. And in tandem with the leadership, selflessness. Guys who really pull for the team and genuinely want to win.
Bill, one of the young guys that I didn't touch on because we didn't see him in Columbus this year is Zach Werenski. I think we're going to see in the very near future. Well, we did see him in Columbus playing for Michigan against Ohio State, but you were able to get him signed after his college season was over. He's been with the Lake Erie Monsters. How has his adjustment going from college hockey to pro hockey been?
We think it's been fantastic. You know, first of all, he had the chance to forego going to the American League and go to the World Championships and what have you. And he said, no, I want to go to Cleveland. I want to be with the guys who are going to be my teammates. I want to try to experience what it's like to play in the playoffs. And kudos to him, you know, to have the fortitude to do that. He's certainly made some mistakes, but he has played wonderfully. He stepped right into our team. He's a big minute guy and has been a great teammate. So I think people in Columbus can be excited about seeing Zach Werenski for years to come.
Can you tell us why it is important to this organization that these players get this experience and that they get it to last for as long as possible?
Winning. Winning. If you look around and you talk to people who are trying to build franchises, trying to build organizations, really trying to build teams, people who have won and the experience of winning and the sacrifice and the discipline, the humility, the enthusiasm, all the things that sort of go into this roller coaster ride that it seems almost every championship team has to take a ride on, right? The ups and the downs. It's fun to win, but everything that really makes up the process and all the collective factors that go into a team being able to win is what we really cherish about the process.
Well, Billy, thank you very much. Enjoy it. Have fun.
Yeah, we'll enjoy it.
Hopefully good things are going to happen. You'll be doing this for another couple of weeks.
I hope so. Thank you.
That is Blue Jackets Assistant General Manager Bill Zito. The Lake Erie Monsters start round 2 against the Grand Rapids Griffins. That's coming up on Thursday in Cleveland. So, hey, if you get a chance, check it out. Either watch it, listen to it, go to Cleveland. It's not that far, and it'll be well worth the trip. For Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health, I'm Bob McElligott.